This is the reality of narrowboat cooking. I'm looking for a particular spice, Kashmiri chili flakes. It's somewhere in there, so I've got to take them out one at a time to find it. Dill, paprika, parsley, thyme. There it is, Kashmiri chili flakes. I'll be using that in my dinner later on. I'm going to show you how to use every inch of space. I'm going to be putting up a new spice rack and rearranging some of these racks for my spices in a jar, as you can see there. I'll also be showing you a privacy screen that I put up in the bathroom, because at the moment there's no doors directly onto the bathroom, it's just some doors in the corridor, which are not really ideal if you've got guests. So I'll be showing you that a bit later, and finishing up at the end of the video with how to boil the perfect boiled egg. This is a closer look of the racks I've already got up at the moment. As you can see, I've got these fantastic little jars that just hold quite a good amount of spices in there. I've only got two at the moment, but I've actually pinched one from the bedroom. As you can see, I've got another one here that I'm going to be putting up, and I've also got, if I can just show you, I'll just lay it down because it's not easy to show you in one shot. And that's a wire spice rack that I'll be placing just in that space there. But I will have to move at least one of the shelves. If I put that in there to show you, you can see it doesn't quite fit in there. It gets stuck on that lower shelf. Right, so the first thing I think I'm going to do is to empty these shelves, make some space here, and then figure out what height I need to move this shelf to. And I'm also going to be fitting another shelf just in that space there, so I've got three similar. And I do have some empty jars here which I'm going to be using for that middle shelf. Not sure what's going in them yet, but I'll show you over time. I'm going to be keeping those hooks underneath that shelf there, because even though that's going to drop just a little bit, that'll be absolutely fine, because I like the idea of where those cups are stored. Right, now these shelves are quite nicely put up actually. They literally just lift up. These just lift up and come off quite easily. I'll just show you a quick close up. There's a little slot there that the screw literally fits in and just sits on top like that. This is the bottom shelf because it's got the hooks on for the cups. I'll just get the wire rack. I think I'm going to leave that top shelf where it is because it's close to that socket there for the aerial. Slide that behind there, and that's just going to sit just about there. I think that looks just perfect. It's just going to miss the curtain, or the curtain to come I should say, the blinds as we've got them now, but the curtain's going to go exactly there as well. Right, I'll just let that rest and I'll give you a close-up shot. Okay, so that's the wire rack. It's not attached or anything. I'm just resting on that top shelf just there. As you can see, it's just cuts it near the edge of the blind as it is. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that's straight, and I'm going to screw that to the side. It's just wooden panels, so it'll be nice and easy. Once I've got that wire rack screwed to the wall, I'll then be able to take this other shelf that hasn't got the hooks on, and that one will be going just about there, so that it misses one of the shelves there. And this one I'm going to have to move those screws down just a fraction, so they sit there. Sure, yeah, I'll try and get the gaps equal, because then I'll still have a gap for another shelf there if I need to. But for now I'm just going to do the three shelves. I've just got the wire rack here. It's going to go, as I said, just about there. I'm going to go about half an inch or 1 centimetre or so from that edge, and just have it nice and vertical. And then I've got 4 screws to put in. and a nice toolbox here which I bought for the boat. So to get some screwdrivers out. I'm just going to mark the holes first. And I'm just eyeballing this rather than measuring it, because that's going to be good enough. Because nothing on a boat is straight and level. Right, so I'll just hold that there. Okay. Right, that looks good. There's one thing I might need. Let's see how easy it is to try and screw this in. Yeah, it's pretty tough, so I'm just going to look at my toolkit again. I'm looking for something that I know as a bradawl. I think that's how you say it. It's basically a sharp point. That's probably the closest thing I've got. It's just a tiny little screwdriver. I'm just going to use that to break the surface so that this screw can get purchased. Should be okay. To get to this one, I'm going to have to take the shelf off. Right, now I'm going to actually screw the rack to the wall. Obviously do one at a time. Usually the first one is always the hardest, because you're having to hold everything up. I'll just put that screw part way in just to hold it there. Try and do this awkward one at the top. Nearly there. Finally. One more to go. That's a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. Just tightening up the screws now, so I've got them all in. At last. Oh, this is one of the reasons I didn't buy a boat that needed loads of reconditioning, what's the word, redecorating, refurbishing, that's the right word. However, I'm really happy with that. It's solid. I'll just show you. There you go. That's the wire spice rack up in place now. So the next job is to put that top shelf back in, because that's staying where it is, and then measure out where I want the other two shelves to go. Right, where to put the shelves. That's my top shelf. I'm just going to hook that back on. Let me hope I haven't messed up here. Which of course I have. I've messed up, by the way. So I've measured that when that shelf was in position. So what I should have done is put the shelf back in position and then screwed it in, because now that will not fit on that screw. So now I've got to move these two screws so that I can get that shelf in, or take that out, drop it, or raise it a fraction. It's easy doing two screws, isn't it? So now I've got to take those screws out, move them down a bit. I'm going to make these holes first with my improvised bradawl. You can tell I don't do DIY a huge amount. I can do it, but I usually have to do things several times over. Oh, this is quite tough. Take two. size not perfect, but it's certainly good enough. Right, so that's shelf number 1 done. And about there. But that actually fits back on nicely. So it's just this shelf in the middle that I need to fit round about there. And of course I've done it because that shelf is the middle one. That one has got the hooks on. Right, so getting back to this one, that's the correct one in that place. So I've just got to get the right measurements. So I'll get similar gaps just there. Right, success! I found some smaller screws. You can see the difference in size. So I'm going to be using the short one. I actually got these from where the shelf was before. Common sense. Right, let's see if I've measured up correctly and if this shelf will go on. I really don't know how I got that wrong, but it's got to go, this side's got to go up about ½ an inch or so. Let's see if I can get it on this time. That looks a lot straighter, doesn't it? Still not perfect, but it's a boat. Nothing's level, nothing's straight. Even the wire rack there tilts out like that. Right, I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm going to put everything back on there so you can watch me now. It's in no particular order, but I will sort it out in time. The spices on the bottom shelf are basically curry spices, along with those two we'll use in a curry. The rest are going to be other spices that I use quite a lot of. That's not actually a spice, that one, that's corn flour. Use that for sprinkling when I'm doing pizzas. And these are just empty jars, but they're going to go up there once I decide what goes in them. I am going to put these in. I've got a bit of OCD when it comes to things in order, which is why that's why I changed it to spices on the bottom for curries. I'm actually going to try and put these in more or less alphabetical order. Goes there. Ta-da! Oh, got one there. So S, sage, goes in there. Until I get more spice to fill up, all of that will be filled up at some stage when I get all the right spices. I'm just going to put 4 in at a time. There you go, that's all done. I'm really happy with that. Let me show you. So now you can see the extra rack that I put in there. It doesn't look too bad. I know it's not quite level, but it's close enough for me. And then my wire rack at the back. I've got an empty shelf on top. But as I said, I'll be filling that out as and when I buy new spices. Let's give you a close-up of the actual spices that I've got. So cumin, coriander, turmeric, garam masala, tandoori masala, Kashmiri chili powder, garlic powder, mint. As I said, that's the corn flour. Herbs and spices I've got up here: bay leaves, Kashmiri chili flakes, that's the one I'm using later, coriander leaves, dill, garlic powder, garlic salt, oregano, paprika, parsley, rosemary, sage, thyme. So They're quite common spices. So over time, what I'm going to do is, I've showed you on that bottom shelf that that's mainly curry spices. I'll go through and show you groups of spices that I used for certain kinds, like Mexican, Chinese, Indian, etc. There's certain spices that generally find within those meals. So hope you enjoyed that. I'll be showing you next the curtain I put up in the bathroom. I've been meaning to do a job for a few weeks now. Let me just show you what the problem is. I've come through here. This is the bathroom. There's no physical door just here. I do have a door there that I can close and latch. And there's a door the other side leading into the kitchen area that I can latch, which locks from this side, so if you're on the other side and you want to come through, you can't. That's if you've got more than one person on the boat. So what I want to do is to actually install a curtain that will cover the door all the way down to the floor. Right, this is the actual curtain. It's like a thermal curtain. Right down the middle you might be able to see a seam. That seam's got magnets in it. So if I just go down to the other end, turn around, just get down there a little bit. If I just separate them, you can see it separates in the middle, and then as it drop it down, the magnets fix the curtain. The first job was to clean the door where the curtain is going to hang. It's actually going to be attached with this. This is like a Velcro strip with a sticky back, and my next job is to put this onto the curtain where the black Velcro is already. I do have a small issue, because if I just point out just down, that's roughly where my Velcro strip has got to go. And the trouble is, when I get down to just here, you can see I've got some light switches in the way. So what I'm going to do is to cut the Velcro strip there, and that way I should be able to fit it all in nicely and still be able to operate the switches. Right, this is the top of the door frame there, so I need to get my tape. Very sticky stuff, this. Right, so just going to roughly measure that out. Doesn't have to be too accurate. Just rub that down nice and firmly. Right, now this side where the light switches are going to be, I need to have a piece of tape 70 centimetres long. That will stop just short of the light switch. Again, I've got a little bit of leeway, about a centimetre or so. I'll stick this bit down. Now I need a gap of about 20 centimetres before I start the next bit on the light switch side. And now, as you can see, I've got the tape on, the Velcro tape. Just need to peel off the white bit. And then the tricky bit is to get it up there and level, so that when it gets down to the bottom it'll all be nice and straight. Let's try. I managed to actually find the end so I can start peeling it off, and it is extremely sticky, which is why I couldn't get it off before. Right. get the rest of the white tape off and then work our way down. Should have peeled that a little bit before I put it up there. Yeah, I'm sure there must be an easier way to get this tape off. 5 minutes later I've done it. So what I need to do now, so just on this side, this is the important side, pull the tape down, get that straight and then rubbing it down. Right, on this side I'm just going to go down to the switch. I'm going to start on this side. Put a slight tension, not enough to pull the magnets apart, just enough to make it nice and straight. Pull it down a few inches, keep the tension and stick it down. So I've just gone up to the light switch level on this side. That's looking good. As you can see, if I just push it slightly, it opens and then comes back together. Let's do the bottom half now. I'm just going to do on the light switch side again, because that's the straight edge I need to follow. Not it too tight over the switches so it can still operate them. A few inches, pull the tape off and rub it down. Just across to this side. Put a few inches off, get the tension, stick it down. Right, that looks just about done that way. Now if you just look on the floor, you'll see that it's actually resting on the floor. Now the instructions actually say don't do that. I didn't really have much of a choice, because my headroom up here, as you can see, is right up at the ceiling. So rather than try and cut a couple of inches off the bottom, I'm just letting it rest down. Let's see how it goes. Now there'll be just one more job to do on the bathroom door curtain. I'd like to show you a close up of these little tacks. Now you're supposed to stick them in the door frame around the curtain just to give it a bit of extra support, so it's not just the sticky tape that's holding it up. So I'll put those in after about 24 hours. I recommend to let the tape cure so that it sticks even better, then put the tacks in and then it should be fine. Hello and welcome back to Cooking on the Cuts and Red One Afloat. Today I'm going to show you how to cook a perfect poached egg. I'm also going to show you how you can eat it. You can have it just on toast on its own in an egg cup, or as I'm going to have today, some avocado on toast with the boiled egg on top. These are the ingredients for today. You can of course use any fresh eggs, as fresh as possible. Today I'm actually going to use these ones. These are Bluebell Avocado eggs. Now if I just open it up, you can see they're actually a beautiful pale blue colour of egg. Very, very tasty. As you can see, I've already had some of them for yesterday's breakfast. And I've got some seeded sourdough bread which I'm going to toast, and as I suggested, I'm going to have some avocado on that toast with the boiled egg on top. Some butter just to butter the toast. At the back here I've got a pan, that's actually half filled with water, which I'm going to use to boil the eggs in. I'll go through that in more detail just now. And this bowl over here is empty at the moment, but I'm going to actually use that as an iced bath. I'm just going to start by making my toast. As I said, it's the seeded sourdough bread. So I'm just going to put that under the grill because I haven't got a toaster as such. So I'll keep an eye on that. And in the meantime, I'm going to put the water on to start the boil. The water needs to be boiling, but not a rolling boil. It just needs to be above simmer, but below rolling boil, so sort of in the middle of that. Right, that's the water is now boiling. You can see that it's not a simmer and it's not a rolling boil, so just that in between. Okay, so now I'm ready to put the eggs in. I'm going to lower them in with a spoon and do that as quickly as possible between the two eggs. I'm actually only going to put in 2 eggs today, but you can put up to 4. The eggs need to be at room temperature, otherwise it just brings the temperature of the water down too much. Just gently put them in there. And let that boil for 7 minutes. Now that the eggs are on the boil, you can see I've already done my toast and put the avocado on top of the toast. I've buttered it as well. So put that to one side. The next job is to prepare the ice bath. So I've just got some ice out of the freezer. This is going to be a bit tricky to get out because I haven't got proper. There you go. So I'm going to half fill that with water. Right, so you can see I've got ice floating about in the water, and it's cold water I put in there because we need to have the water as cold as possible, because once the eggs have finished their 7 minutes, they're going to be taken out straight away and plunged into this ice bath to stop the cooking process on the eggs, and that will keep the yolks nice and runny. While we're waiting for those eggs to finish boiling, my ice bath is ready. Just want to show you the progress of my avocado plant that I did a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, it's coming along really nicely. Got some nice green leaves at the top. I'm actually going to put it outside, I think, in my bow area with the other plants. The timer is just coming up now. I'll stop that. There you go. So I bring my eggs over and carefully take them out as quick as you can. Plunge them straight into the ice water. You need to leave it in the ice water until the eggs are at room temperature. They've been in there for a few minutes now, so you can see some of the ice is melted because of the hot eggs going in there. And the way I test to see if they actually cool down enough, I just take one out. You can feel if it's still warm, and that's actually about right. So I'm going to take them out now. For now, I'm going to actually have these for my breakfast. So just do a gentle crack all around and then just peel it off. You can see that comes off in a quite nice piece. So rest that on the plate there while I do the other one. Here comes the acid test to see, are they soft boiled eggs? Well, let's have a look. Ooh, just a fraction. They're not runny soft boiled, but they're definitely soft boiled eggs. Maybe 30 seconds less or so in the water. You can see the middle is almost runny. Beautiful golden yolks. These eggs are actually a fraction smaller than I would normally use, so I should have really given them 30 seconds, a bit less, if you want really runny eggs. But these are definitely soft boiled. All I'm going to do now is add a little bit of salt and pepper on top. Not too much, just to taste. There we go. soft boiled eggs on toast with avocado. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe for free, and YouTube will notify you when a new video comes out. Usually it will be every Friday at 4 PM GMT.